Hi, this is Renee Richter from OPI, and I am doing a compensation expenditure reporting training for you all. The original version of this was presented by Shanna Flores from Havre Public Schools a few years back at the Maswo Summer Conference, and I have made some changes, updates to it, and am now presenting it to you. We'll start with acronyms. The TOE stands for the Terms of Employment. TEAMS is the Terms of Employment Accreditation Master Schedule. SEID is the State or School Employee Identification Number. LE is your legal entity of your school district. And Mayfair's is the Montana Automated Education Finance and Information Reporting System. So you will see some of these acronyms used in the slide here, so you'll know what they mean. Dates to keep in mind: the terms of employment, the FY21 tow records must be completed before your superintendent can complete the 2021 Teams report. And the tow data drives the quality educator payment. The 2021 team screens opened on September 1st and will close on November 1st. The compensated expenditure report, the FY20 data opened, became available this in Mayfair's in late July, and this compensated expenditure report is due December 10th, 2020. Clerks are responsible for inputting the toll reports and also responsible for reporting the compensated expenditures. And the tow reports must be completed prior to the TEAMS, the Terms of Employment Accreditation Master Schedule, which is usually completed by your superintendent or your building administrator. The compensated expenditure report really starts in the TEAMS division of the Office of Public Instruction, and it's out on the OPI website, and you would go to leadership and assessment and accountability and school accreditation, and then it would take you to the TEAMS login. And here you would enter your username and password. And if you don't have an account, you will need to create a new user account. Once you get into the TEAMS report, into the TEAMS system, you'll take you to the Terms of Employment Accreditation Master Schedule, and you'll want to click on here. We'll take you to this main screen, the Terms of Employment Accreditation Master Schedule here. And as you can see, it shows the 2021 team screens opened September 1st. So this is where you will generate any SEID numbers that you may not have for any of your employees. So your SEID number is your state or school employee identification number, and any employee receiving compensation in a fiscal year period, July 1st to June 30th, requires an SEID number assigned to them in TEAMS. Before you enter an SEID number, and you will not want to enter an SEI number for any educator, as those numbers are already generated with their portfolio as a portfolio number with their teaching certificate. So just be aware of that. But if you have a new teacher that is possibly taught somewhere else, you'll want to make sure and go out and search their SEID number, which you can get from their teacher certificate, and just make sure you get them into your system. You'll want to do the SEID search you'll enter the first name, the last name, the date of birth, and their last 4 digits of their social security number. On the TEAMS website, out on the OPI website in the TEAMS, at this address, Leadership, Assessment, Accountability, School Accreditation Help, on the Teams Help page. There's help team videos and instructions, and there's one for SEID number searching and generating. So that is a great place to go look if you have questions on SEID numbers. If you're ahead of the game, you will generate your SEID numbers throughout the year as you hire your employees, and you'll need to add your tow records, and those are in the following slides. And make sure you add this information into your software system, Black Mountain Software, CNC, or Tyler. You'll assign your employees the LE, their school codes, an FTE, full-time equivalently, if applicable, and also assign them the job codes from the list of job codes, and they can be found out again on the OPI website: leadership, assessment, accountability, school accreditation, and teams. And I believe it's just a drop down. They're right there on that main page, and you want to make sure and get this information loaded into your school database. Okay, to enter a tow record, you want to go out to the OPI website and log into the Teams system. And so again, you're on the OPI website: leadership, assessment and accountability, and school accreditation, and it will take you to the Teams login page. Again, after you have your SEID number assigned, then you can add the tow record. So you would go into the system, compensated expenditure tow for this would actually be the 1920 school year. And then this is for the compensated expenditure tows for 1920. And this is for when the system opens, which it's open September 1st for the 2021 tow records. You want to make sure and go into system and the terms of employment. So you have two different places. This is the compensated expenditure tow records for the last year, 1920, and for the 2021, you want to go up here into the terms of employment. So Nate Miller from OPI Teams did a pre-recorded video last year, I believe. He no longer works in the Teams division, but he did a good presentation on the tow record information. And so at this time, I want to play that for you. I think it will really help you guys out a lot. You might need to turn up your volume on it. He's a pretty quiet guy.
When you log into Teams, you're automatically brought to the home screen. Here you can select the different roles that you have access to. To complete the terms of employment or tow screen, so I'm going to select the district authorized representative role. Find the system drop-down and select terms of employment tow. You want to make sure that you have the right county, system, and district listed at the top. If your school system has multiple districts, you'll need to complete a tow for each one, and you should be able to select the other one by clicking this drop-down menu and then selecting that district. There are three ways that you can complete this terms of employment screen. The first one is to upload a file that's an export from the school system database that you currently use. To figure out how to export that file, you'll need to contact your system administrator. You can roll over your prior year data, which will bring in the data from the previous year, or you can simply click Add Tow Record and manually enter your records for the year. To complete an upload, you'll click Choose File, find the file that must be either a CSV or a TSV format, open that file, and then click Upload File. In this example, two of these records came in with all the information needed, and they're under the Valid Employment Records section. Any record that has incomplete data or needs to be fixed will show up under the records with errors. You'll simply select the record and enter in the fields. So for instance, the employee start date and employee end date. Click Save, and then the record will drop down into valid employment records. It's important to note that if you have an employee, such as Margaret, who is a library media specialist at 2 different schools, that you put a record in for each school and then break out her total FTE. In this instance, she's at halftime at the school, halftime at 6/8. The second option is to roll over the prior year data. To do this, simply click Roll Over Prior Year Data, and it will automatically populate with all the information you had in there last year. Now, it's important that you go through each of these records and make sure that the employee is still working at your school district. To show multiple records, simply click Show, pick the amount that you like, as in all items per page, and then it will show you all of the employees that you have in the Terms of Employment screen. To select them, you'd simply click Select and then edit any necessary data, or you can also delete a record by clicking Delete. And again, like the upload, the rollover, or simply adding each individual tow record, to add a record, click Add Tow Record. And then you'll need to fill in the highlighted information. And if they're an employee requiring FTE, you put in that information here as well. And then click Save. One very important thing to remember is that if you choose to upload a file or roll over the prior year data, and then you go to upload or roll over again, it will automatically erase any of the changes you've made. Because each time that you upload or roll over, it replaces that data that currently exists in that table. So if you're going to do a data upload, you want to make sure that you look at your spreadsheet and that everything is correct on there. And it may be easier to edit that spreadsheet prior to uploading the file, as instead of uploading and then changing each individual tow record or adding a tow record. If you have any other questions about the tow screen, you can email us at opiteams@mt.gov.
Okay, so again, the current year 2021 options available are the file upload from payroll, roll forward from the previous year, or manually add your tow records. So the tow record, again, like Nathan said, the tow records needed for each employee in any LE in which they are working. So for example, North Star has 2 LEs. These 2 LEs may share a teacher. The tow record of this teacher will need to be split between the 2 LEs, for instance, 50-50. When you're done inputting all of your tow records, you want to make sure and go out and look at your summary report and double check it. Make sure you have all your teachers and staff on this report. The final totals, this is the number that will drive your quality educator payment in your general fund. So it's very important that this Terms of Employment summary report is correct. Okay, now we're finally to the compensated expenditure reporting. The instructions for this can be found out on the OPI website, leadership, finance, grants, school finance, accounting manuals, and it's listed as the compensated expenditure reporting instructions. So we're ready to complete the compensation report. All employees have an SEID number. and all the employees have a tow record. And these tow records are for the 1920 school year because this compensated expenditure report is last year's data. Okay. And then you have done the file export from your software vendor and saved it in a CSV format. And these, again, these instructions on your file export instructions will come from your software vendor. But if you go back out to the, sorry, these expenditure reporting instructions, they'll also give you instructions on how to do this. So now we're going to go into the Mayfair system, which again is on the OPI website. Leadership, school finance, and then you'll go into your Mayfair system link down here. You want to enter your username and password, and it will take you to the data entry screen. From the data entry screen, you want to go into the compensated expenditures. So if there's a drop down here and I'll say compensated expenditures. So you will want to, in this case, I'm going to upload my compensation expenditures. So I want to go out and browse, find my file, and I will want to import that file. And each LE, this is a K-12, but if you have an elementary and a high school, you're going to have to do this twice. You can only upload one of them at a time. Okay, so in this example, I have uploaded my file, but my file could not be imported. I have a couple of errors down here. And here it's saying my file contained records for LE612, which is not the selected LE, but basically what that is a formatting. It needs to be 4 digits. So if you have a 3-digit LE, you need to format your CVS file to 4 digits. And then it's saying I am missing tow records for these people. So Brenna Copenhaver, I'm missing a tow record for her. So again, here's my LE 612, excuse me. And that's because it's not 4 digits. And then my tow record is missing for Brenna. And that means that there's no employment record for this employee, yet she has not been terminated out of my system. And if you don't know who, if you get a name on there and you don't know who the employee is, you may have entered a wrong SEID number for an employee, and it's pulling up an actual person with an SEID number. So you need to do a search. And according to Steve Hamill, he said almost 100% of the time it's fat fingers and the SEID number will be off by 1 digit. Okay, so if you have error messages regarding missing tow records, so like you have a missing tow record here for Brenna, you'll need to go back and log into the team system. And once you're in there, navigate to the compensated expenditure tow screen. Okay. And the screen can be found by hovering over the system menu and clicking on the compensation tow menu. Okay. And this screen will show you all the tow records added in the previous year accreditation process. And then to add a tow record, you want to click on Add a Tow Record button found directly below the filters. I know these are kind of blurry. I think they've been cut and pasted a few too many times. So once you are in the Add a Tow Record screen, you want to enter the school, the SEID number, the position code, employment start and end date, and the employment FTE, if applicable, into this screen. The FTE is not required for all positions. The FTE field will turn white if the position does not require an FTE, or it will turn yellow if it is required. Select the school or the district level first, then select the position code to have the FTE accurately highlighted. And superintendents, clerks, substitutes, and coaches should be listed at the district level. And the new tow record is saved successfully when it appears in the table directly below the add a tow record button here. And then to edit any new tow record, click on the select button to see all the information again, and then edit any information and click save to save it, or click the delete button to remove the record entirely if it's not what you want. And once all the missing tow records are added in the team system, um, the compensation expenditure report can be completed. And so you'll want to go back into the compensated expenditures and browse for your new updated file and import that file. Okay. So in this case, I've done this and my file imported. So you'll get the little red file imported if all of your errors, previous errors have been cleaned up. So once your file's been imported, you want to print a validation report. So the reason for this validation is because the tow ties to the TFS and through the compensated expenditure report, like a checks and balances. So if you get a validation warning, it will say something like this. The two XX amounts entered on the TFS, say 31,000 for LE1234, are different from the two XX amounts entered in the compensated expenditures, 26,000 by more than 10%. Okay. And this can be a result of benefits not being entered as a payroll deduction. Some schools pay workers comp through claims, and sometimes benefits on the employer side, like health insurance, are not paid through payroll. So a small school will need to go in, or any school really will need to go in and manually add these benefits for the teachers to their CSV file, save it, and then try to upload it again. Okay. So you will be able to submit your compensated expenditure report with this warning. But if you receive this warning, contact me at OPI to identify the reason why the two reports don't match more closely. So once you check that validation, you hopefully are going to get this down here where it says there are no validation errors for the selected district. Okay, and then once you get this validation with no errors, you're going to want to go back into this compensation expenditure screen, excuse me, and then you're going to want to click on this submit compensation expenditures. And then this next screen would look like this. The LE has been submitted. And when you're done, you may want to print the report as a PDF for your records and keep a copy of that. So that's all I have today for you on the compensated expenditure reporting. Please don't hesitate to call me if you have any questions. Here's my contact information down here. So Renee Richter at 444-1960 or renee.richter@mt.gov. Thanks and have a great rest of your day.